afternoon, race fans. Welcome to Southern Ontario Motor Speedway live stream event. Well, it should be number 1, but we're number 2. We're here on a Sunday afternoon, making up for last night's rained out event here at the racetrack. Mother Nature came down a couple of times. Shortly around 6 o'clock and a little bit after 7:30, the rains came down, put an end to last night's event, which is definitely unfortunate, but on the upside, there is plenty of moisture in the racetrack today. We will be having some great racing action once we get going here in just a few minutes. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I want to say hello. Some of you folks watching at home today that might have been here, but didn't come back today, and that's all right. We still love you, race fans. Hope you enjoy your Sunday Father's Day, whatever you're doing, having a barbecue, having a beverage on the patio. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Dean. I'm going to be the voice of the racetrack here this season. Glad to have you along, and we will be here every Saturday night, live stream, ready to go on YouTube, so make sure you share that with your friends. Let them know they can watch us each and every Saturday night starting at 7 o'clock. Maybe the odd Sunday, much like today. Hopefully not too many Sundays, that's for sure. We will have all 5 classes in action tonight. Lots of new cars, lots of new faces, and can't say we couldn't do it without our good friends at Quick Wick Fire Starters, coming on board as title sponsor this year at the racetrack. We want to thank Frank and the gang. Make sure you check those out when you come by the Speedway. They will be on sale. The best product you can possibly have to get that campfire started for the summer. In our 5 divisions, we have a couple of good sponsors coming back, one being Shinkles Gourmet Meats coming back this season to sponsor the modified division. John and the gang at Shinkles Gourmet Meats in Chatham, thank you. Been a title sponsor for the last couple years on the modifieds. And new this year, we have the Great Lakes Gymnastic Club sponsoring our mini mod division. Joel and Audrey and the whole gang over there at the Great Lakes Gymnastic Club, thank you. Make sure you keep an eye on that 23D mini mod. Joel driving that thing. We'll have to see if he's any good at that or if he's better at his gymnastics. But as we mentioned, night number 1 on the season. Now afternoon number 1, looking forward to it. All 5 classes, like I said, will be in action. And coming up next week, we've got something even better for you. Sprint cars will be here. We'll get talking about that right shortly. Quite a night that's going to be next Saturday here at Southern Ontario Motor Speedway. Drivers down there surveying the track after all the moisture last night. Checking things out, just getting ready to get these cars in the chute to get this event rolling here tonight. Lots of new faces around the track this season, so we'll introduce a few of those folks as we go. And for those of you tuning in for the first time, you're probably going to notice a very, very different racetrack if you've been out to the Speedway before. Obviously, things look a whole lot different now. Long, straight straightaways and wide sweeping turns. Lots of room for racing here, so will definitely be interesting to see who gets it figured out first. Some of these guys that have traveled elsewhere, possibly Ashwegan, Eldora down in the States, things like that. Sort of a similar style of racetrack. So some of the late model drivers may have a bit better advantage as far as getting a setup, but a completely new surface for all of the drivers here to check it out. Some of them here on Thursday and Friday for our first test and tune events this year. Some of the drivers having some luck, some of the drivers having some technical issues, but that is a big part of racing. A few other sponsors here at the racetrack. As you can see down the backstretch, lots of very large new banners promoting a bunch of our brand new sponsors, some coming back, some new. All Canadian Tool and Industrial Supply. We've seen them many, many years here at the racetrack. We want to thank them. Jay Dillon from the DPM Insurance Group coming on board, helping out this year with our safety vehicles. a lot of new equipment on those machines so that the drivers are safe. So we want to thank DPM Insurance as well as Jeff's Roofing, helping out getting things sorted out for our safety crew this year. And we have some of the best safety guys in the business here at Southern Ontario Motor Speedway, keeping these drivers safe. Our friends from Sauvé's Home Center Rona in Bell River. Obviously, there has been a lot of building going on here at the racetrack, new tower, new stuff, and they've been great supporters, helping us get products and get that kind of stuff finished up here at the racetrack. And still lots of work to do, that's for sure, but it takes time, and we've got a little bit of that left. Unfortunately, COVID restrictions have hindered a few things, but we're still here to give it our best. And some of you may have seen the new grandstands going on here at the racetrack. They're definitely a little bit different than they were in the past. Lots of height, lots of seating room, so can't wait to get some fans back in the stands here, hopefully soon. Well, just got a list of drivers here for heat race number 1 coming out onto the racetrack here in just a couple minutes. We're going to have the 37 of Rob Hoskins. Number 5 is Gord Grant. 96 is Steve Shaw. 96T is Todd Shaw. 72 is Marcel Gaudet. The 79 of Chris Hale. And the 22 car all here in heat race number 1 for our Thunder Stock division. Well, here they come, race fans. For the first time in the 2021 season, we have got some race car drivers on the track ready to make some laps here. Definitely excited to see with all the diversity that has come through with COVID and everything else. Glad to finally have these drivers out on the track, as we mentioned. On the front row, we'll see the 37. That's the white car of Rob Hoskins. Inside of him, the 5 car. That is Gord Grant. 96 car, legendary driver Steve Shaw in the 96. The 96T, that is Todd Shaw. '79 is the Chris Hale car. That's the blue and yellow car there in the back of the pack. 72, that is Marcel Gaudet. Driver at the tail of the field there in the 108 car, that is Zach Bleak. 7 cars ready to go here for heat race number 1. Green flag in hand. Flagman Aiden ready to cut these guys loose. They'll come out of turn 3 and turn 4 for the first time on the 2021 season. Thunderstock heat race number 1 ready to go. No surprise, Steve Shaw. The first one here in the season. just over halfway. Steve Shaw still leading around here. Race number 1, followed by Ron Hoskins in the 32nd. Gordon Wink in the 5 car. 108 is that. It's up a little bit, so we'll have that 4th position in the 79 car. And Chris Harrell making his way past the 16. Junior, so top shot, catch up on the 16. One more time around comes Steve Shaw. Well, heat race number 1 in the books, and not a bad start here. Most of the drivers so far choosing that low line, but as the night goes on, we'll see if they work that cushion up just a little bit. Heat race number 2 now rolling out onto the Speedway. That iconic looking 49 car. Dave Bailey in that 49. Very, very well. A few other drivers here in heat race number 2. We have the 42 car. Bear with me, folks. I've just got my list here trying to figure out who some of these drivers are, but the 42 is Matt Wilson. Matt Wilson in the 42. The 427, that is Trevor Jones. Trevor Jones in the orange 427. Steve Shaw Jr. in the 96 JR. John Lynch in the 4 car. Just trying to get that 4 car. He's supposed to be on the outside of the front row. Ready to go, ready to come to green for heat race number 2 on the front row. It is the 49 of Dave Bailey, and inside of him is the 42 car of Matt Wilson. They will bring them out of 3 and 4 for the green flag on heat race number 2. Jr. still a couple laps back in that second position. Long way back. Good battle going on for third right now. Mitchell Russo in the 47. Mitchell looks to the inside, a little tap there on Wilson's car. Looks like a right front fender on the 47 piece. He speeds up the track. He will make his way off the pits. He'll go straightaway between the first and second car and back to the second. So big breakfast. Mitchell Russo living the ground on the bottom, going to make his way through the building and slip shot in the middle. Well, that will do it for our Thunderstock heat races here tonight. 2 in the books. Those guys will head on back to the pits, get some setup stuff done before their feature here tonight. But in the chute, our mini mods getting lined up, ready to go. Quite a few names on the list here that do look familiar in our mini stock. I'll definitely try and keep that sorted out. Mini mods are coming out onto the racetrack as we speak. Run down the list here. Race number 1 was 16 car. Well, so far so good here at Southern Ontario Motor Speedway. Glad to see these cars whipping around the track as we get ready to go here for heat race number 2 in the Great Lakes Gymnastics Mini Mod Division. See the cars lined up in the chute, just getting ready to go. The front row here for heat race number 2. That is the 31 of Marshall Harregger's, previous track champion in our mini mod division. Outside of him, the N64. The N64, that is Dylan Bonner. One of 3 of the brothers are here to do battle. Behind them, the 8 car, that is Sean McNally. Sean McNally in the 8. Behind him, Brad Bowden in that 78 car, another rookie in the class here. Joel Desjardins in the 23. Van Hall in the 06 car. At the back of the field, we've got lots of cars everywhere here. A little slow on the start for the 78 car, as he didn't get the good jump there on that start. Dylan Bonner in the N64, out with the early lead behind it. Sean McNally and Marshall Harreggers doing battle for that second spot through 1 and 2. Moving his way up through the field in that 46 car, that is Wild West Bertozzi. He's made his way up to the 4th position. Behind him in the 28 car, the 28, that is Caleb O'Leary. Behind him in the 23D, that's Joel Desjardins. Door to door as they come by the stripe there for heat race number 2. We've got Sean McNally and Marshall Harreggers battling out for that second position. Out front though in the N64, Dylan Bonner going to work his way up on some slower cars here. Jordan Van Hall in that 06 car and the 78 car. Brad Bowden, those guys will go to the bottom of the N64, no problem by on the high side. Sean McNally in the 8 and the 31 car now making their way past those cars. Two laps left to go here in heat race number 2. Dylan Bonner on in the N64 seems to have this track figured out so far here. Sean McNally settled into the second place a little while there on a 3 and 4, but still holds on to that second position. Marshall Harreggers in the 31 will sit in the 3rd position with 1 more lap to go. Leader up on some slow cars there, Joel Desjardins in the 23D. Bonner to the inside, and he will take checker flag on heat race number 2. Second place will go to Sean McNally, and 3rd place to Marshall Harreggers. 4th place is the 46 of West Bertozzi, and 5th going to round out top 5 here. Caleb O'Leary in the 28 car. mini stock division in the chute, getting ready to go for their heat race here tonight. 10 drivers on hand in our mini stock division. I can see him lined up here. That is the 21 car. I believe that's the 20 car. 20 car lined up in there. Brad Maynard in the 21M. You see him lined up there in the chute. Well, it's been a while since I've seen some mini stocks here at the racetrack. Been a couple years off from the announcing gig, and we only had the 4 classes last time I was here, so pretty cool to see some of these mini stocks back out here. Some Mustangs and some Cavaliers and things like that. A good starter class for our drivers here. Number 1, the only heat race here for our mini stock division out on the racetrack. Getting them lined up, ready to go. It is the 20M of Brad Maynard. Outside of him, we have the 91 car. 91 is Oliver Larocque. Inside of him, we have the 16 car, Fabio Olivieri. The 50 car, 50, that is Kevin Frazier. Kevin Frazier in the 50, now making his way up to the front row. 71, that is Leroy. Some issues there with the truck on the backstretch. That's the 77 truck. Tate O'Leary going to get a stop, just making sure things are good. So we're going to bring these guys to a stop on the front stretch. Leroy 1, that is the 71 car, Leroy Buscom. I do apologize, just trying to get things sorted out here as I learn names of all these drivers. Tate O'Leary in the 77, going to get a push start, having some technical issues right off the bat there in the 77. We'll run down this one more time. The 91 in the front there is Oliver Larocque. Inside of him, the 50 car. The 50 is Kevin Frazier. 20M, that is Brad Maynard. The 71 of Leroy Buscom. 16, Fabio Olivieri. James Kelly in the J2. James Kelly in that white J2 car. Stock Heat Race number 1, 8 cars on the track, green flag in hand. Starter Aiden ready to cut them loose as they come out of turn number 4, 8 laps the distance. Well, a good 2-car battle right off the hop as they come out of 3 and 4. It's going to be neck and neck down the stretch. It's going to be the 91 car. Oliver LaRock taking lap number 1 inside of him. The 71 car, Leroy, they're going to go door to door out of turn number 2 down the back stretch. A little further back to that 3rd place car. That is the 16 of Fabio Olivieri. Red flag out on the track, red flag out. We've got some issues on the track. The 77 truck, 77 of Tate O'Leary, he's over on his side. '77, that is Caleb O'Leary over on his side, and we see him climbing out of the truck there, climbing out. That's always a good sign. Safety crews quick on the scene. As we mentioned early on, we've got some of the best safety guys in the biz, and they were there quick. Tate O'Leary in the 77, some tough luck to get his season started. Well, glad to see Tate out of the truck under his own power, making his way back to the safety truck. He'll get a quick look at and make sure things are okay, but these guys buckled in pretty good when it comes to safety. Lots of safety gear on, so definitely one of the inevitable things happening here at the racetrack. Sometimes accidents happen, but glad to see he's okay. Something else to keep in mind as these drivers sit on the track under this red flag condition. It is hot out here today, and those guys in the cars obviously have their full fire suits on. So not the most comfortable position to be sitting in the sun in your fire suit and your helmet, and obviously air conditioning not working so well in these race cars. So we'll get these guys fired back up as quickly as possible to get some air moving on them. A little bit of broadcasting there with the J. Dillon Insurance banner. Kind of says it all right there. Some kinds of crashes they can insure. I don't think they would do well with their insurance on this kind of a little bit of issue on the track. Big thanks to Miller Towing out there right now, getting that car sorted out so we can get it off the racetrack. We're going to bring these drivers back around to the front stretch and get them lined up so that when we're ready to go back to green, they're all in order, ready to go. Leroy Boscombe in the 71 is your current race leader, followed by the 91 of Oliver Larocque. Behind him, the 16 car, Fabio Olivieri, sitting in that third position. Behind them, that's the 20M of Brad Maynard. Well, we've got them all lined up here on the front stretch. Once we get this truck off of the racetrack, we will be ready to go back to green. Just a couple laps left to go here in our mini stock heat race. Three laps will be left to go here to decide our first mini stock heat race winner. Well, by the power of social media and everybody followed along, I do thank you for correcting. It is Olivier Larocque in the 91. One of the joys of being an announcer and not sure how to pronounce, but I do thank you for anytime I can get them right. You just let me know, please. Olivier Larocque in the 91 is going to have just 3 laps to see if he can get back by that 71 car. Both of those guys having a great run out front. When we do go back to green, it will be a single file restart, no passing until you get to the cone. The cone coming out of turn number 4 is set up, ready to go, and it looks like the 77 truck on the back of the wrecker. He'll make his way over to the pits. Again, big thanks to Miller Towing helping out there with that flatbed wrecker, getting them off the track. Safety crew's doing a great job, and we're just about ready to go back to green in our mini stock heat race. A little more than cosmetic there on that race truck, but those guys will have a look. Maybe get a couple tires on it. If it's not bent up too bad, you might see it back out for tonight's feature. Well, nose to tail, they will come down the backstretch and through 3 and 4 as they do come back to the green flag. Well, not so well on the single file there. The 16 car Fabio a little bit on the inside there. He's now sits in that second position. '71 slow down the backstretch, going to give up, try and make their way back into the caution out. Caution does come out that time by. '71 car making their way down to the infield. Some technical issues on that for Leroy Buscombe. And just like that, we are back to green flag racing here at the racetrack. Fabio in that 16 car now leading the way around. White flag in hand this time by for race leader Fabio. He will bring him on through, followed by the 91 of Olivier Larocque. And Brad Maynard in the 20M sits in that third position. Oh, a little bubble coming out of 3 and 4. That's going to close it up. And the final lap is going to go to the 91 car of Olivier Larocque, taking advantage. 91 will pick up the victory. All the way down to the wire it came. A little bobble from the 16 car was all it took to open the door there, and it is the 91 of Olivier Larocque picking up the win in our mini stock heat race tonight. Well, our Shingles Modifieds out on the racetrack here for heat race, and on the inside we have the 6M of Justin Mills. Outside of him is the 09 of Joel Dick. Row number 2, we have the 22 of Brian Spielman. Outside of him, the 5, that is the Frenchman Gerald Martin. And in the back, the 98P of Patrick Lajeunesse. Patrick Lajeunesse in the 98P. For all the other modified drivers sitting at home, I want to say hello. We'll definitely see you back next week. Enjoy your Sunday afternoon and see what happens here. We've got 5 modifieds here for us tonight. Justin Mills and Joel Dick on the front row. Both of those guys have definitely seen victory lane before. Brian Spielman, previous track champion. Gerald Martin and Patrick Lajeunesse bringing them around here for heat race number 1. As they come around for lap number 1, Joel Dick, your race leader, followed by Justin Mills in the 6M. Brian Spielman in the 22, sitting in that 3rd position, followed by Joe Martin and Doris Lajeunesse. Halfway this time by for race leader Joel Dick, followed by Justin Mills in the 6M, and the 22 of Brian Spielman still sits in that 3rd position. Well, last lap coming around for the checker flag will be Joel Dick in the 09D this time by. Justin Mills in the 6M going to finish in the 2nd position, and Brian Spielman rounding out the top 3 in our Shingles Modified feature here tonight. And Patrick Lajeunesse going to jump ahead of Gerald Martin to take that 4th position away at the line. Gerald Martin rounded out the top 5. Once again, a big thanks to Shingles Gourmet Meat sponsoring our modified division here. Glad to have those guys back. Well, modified late model now making their way out onto the racetrack. On the front row, we've got the 49 car. That is Brett Hope. Outside of him, the 0 is the Smooth Criminal of John Pinsino. Second row is the 4 car of CJ Field. Lap number 1 in the books, and it's John Pinsino, the Smooth Criminal, leading him around. CJ Field in the 4, right on his back bumper, looking to make the move. Coming across the stripe, it will be John Pinsino. The 49 of Brett Hope runs in that 3rd position, followed by Doris Lajeunesse in the 38 car. A little further back, we have the 00 of Gowdy, the 87 car. 87, that is Kyle Gill. At the back, the 19 is Don Douglas. Brett Hope brings it around in turn number 4. Brings out the caution here during heat race number 1 in our late model division. Bit of a push there out of turn number 4 for the 49 car of Brett Hope in his rookie season in that late model class. See if he can get that thing fired back up. But out front it's still the 4 car of CJ Field, followed by the 0 of John Pinsino. Doris Lajeunesse running in that 3rd position. Well, it looks like Brett Hope is going to make his way off the back stretch into the pit, so that will be an end to his heat race. We'll see if we see that 49 car back out here for the feature, as drivers get nose to tail lined up, ready to go back to green here in our late model heat race. CJ Field, John Pinsino, and Doris Lajeunesse, 1, 2, 3, as they come down to the green flag. Caution out as we have a car down on the infield there in turn number 3 and 4. That's the 87 of Kyle Gill, 87. Well, the 87 of Kyle Gill is back on the racetrack. Got that thing push started, so we've got the 4 car of CJ Field. Well, one more time, single file restart coming out of turn 4. CJ Field's going to lead them on through, followed by John Pinsino, Doris Lajeunesse, Mike Gowdy, Don Douglas, and Kyle Gill left here to do battle in heat race number 1. Checkered flag in hand for race leader CJ Field. Through 3 and 4 he goes. He will pick up heat race win number 1 in the 4 car, followed by John Pinsino and Doris Lajeunesse. 1, 2, 3. Heat race number 2 out on the racetrack, ready to go here in our late model class. We've got the 13 car. Kevin Gowdy in that 13. Well, door to door there as they come by the stripe on the second lap. Tyler Lozon looking to make his way to the front in the 66, followed by Ryan Gowdy in that 38 car. He dives down to the inside, going to get a little sideways. Guy's going to mostly get around there, not too much damage for anybody. Ryan Gowdy in the 38 there, threw it in very hard going in turn number 4, brings her around a little bit, gathers up the 21 car. That is Greg Haskell in the 21. Tyler Lozon in the 66 out front, followed by the 13 of Kevin Gowdy. Behind him, we've got the 48 car. The 48, that is Rob Young. And behind him, the 21 car of Greg Haskell. Oh, this time it's going to be the 48 car of Rob Young. He's going to bring out caution as he gets it looped around in turn number 3. Well, race fans, as you can see, we've got some Thunderstocks lined up in the chute here, getting ready to go for our Thunderstock feature here on night number 1. Thanks again for joining us, following along on YouTube. Glad to have you with us. Thanks for putting up with me. Hope you're all having fun, enjoying this beautiful Sunday afternoon. I want to thank Mother Nature for cooperating today. Obviously, last night was not meant to be. The rains came, washed us out, and here we are on a Sunday afternoon. Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all you dads sitting at home having a cold beverage, enjoying yourselves. Can't wait to see you all out here in the racetrack. And judging by the image on the screen, if this is going to be our front row for the feature, it should be a good one. Dan Bailey and Steve Shaw sitting there on the front row, and those guys have done battle many times before here at the racetrack in our Thunderstock division. Well, and just another quick reminder, coming up next week right here at the racetrack, we have the Pinty's Knights of Thunder, their season opener for the Sprint Car Series. So that should be an action-packed event, definitely something you want to get a hold of, and you can also check that out on GeForce TV. So make sure you're following along on Southern Ontario Motor Speedway on YouTube, or if you follow along on GeForce TV as well. All will be broadcast, all will be on display in all its glory here at the racetrack next Saturday night. Green flag will drop at 7 o'clock. Our first feature of the 2021 season now making its way out onto the racetrack. Green flag is out, race fans, as they head down into turn number 1. Steve Shaw, Dan Bailey both come out door to door out of turn number 2. Down the back stretch they go. A little sideways out of turn number 3 is a 37. He's going to keep it straight. We're going to stay green and things will continue on. A little bit of craziness down there in turn number 4. We've got the 42 of Wilson around that. Caution going to come out. Caution going to come out. Matt Wilson in the 42 will bring out the caution here as we rolling through. Gets a little sideways down there in turn number 4. '49 car, 49 of Dave Bailey leading these guys around. We will cars get lined up, nose to tail. Delaware restarts here tonight for the Thunderstock feature. Dave Bailey out front. Caution still lined out. Driver does have a couple minutes to get that tire changed and get back out here on the tail of the field. The 42, he is back out there. Wilson will join the tail of the field and we will get ready to go back to green. Next time by. Dave Bailey in the 49, still leading the pack here, followed by Steve Shaw, and Steve Shaw Jr. in that third position behind him, the 79 car. 79 Some of these drivers having some difficulty negotiating these turns. Kind of slick out there. Some guys getting a handle, getting it sorted out as time's gone on here, but it's still Dave Bailey in the 49 car. A little bump on Wilson as he tries to get by down the backstretch. Second place still Steve Shaw, followed by the 79 car. Well, once again, leader into some slower traffic here as he catches up to the back of Mitchell Brusso in the 47B down on the inside of that 4 car. Pulls to the high side down the backstretch. Still leads it around here during our Thunder Stock feature. Steve Shaw still sits in second, but gaining ground in that 79 car. Chris Hale in that 79. Slowly tracking down the 96 of Steve Shaw. Caution going to come out, caution going to come out. We've got one up in the wall in turn number 3, the 37 car. Rob Hoskins gets her slide up and into the wall in turn 3, but gets it moving again. Looks like he's no worse for wear as he's gone on. No front end damage, a little bit of damage on the rear of that car, but he's going to join the tail of the field here. 3 and 4, definitely a little bit different for these guys to navigate, and obviously the way the wind and the sun has been all afternoon, things a little bit drier down there on that end. 2 laps left to go here. Good battle up front between Steve Shaw and Dave Bailey. They come down through 3 and 4 one more time with 2 to go. It's going to be down to the wire. Steve Shaw might get this pulled away here. Dave Bailey going to try 4 more times through the turn, see if he can nose it through there. Out of the backstretch they come. Steve Shaw still going to lead him down. Dave Bailey bumper on the back bumper, going to try and pick it up one more time through 3 and 4. And just like that, before the checkers, caution comes out. Steve Shaw Jr. around in turn number 2, going to bring out the caution just before the checkers. First feature of the season, ready to go here. Green, white checkers is how it's going to come down. Steve Shaw and Dave Bailey going to do battle. Cars all clear off the track. Everything looks good to go. Door to door down the backstretch, and they're going to have none of it. Dave Bailey and Steve Shaw go door to door, and I'm pretty sure that might have been intentional. While we got a break in the action as we get things cleaned up down there, I've got some local talent, different kind of talent up here in the booth with me to kill some time. We've got Trailer Parker, the guys from, well, that's a new restaurant in Charing Cross. And let me tell you, if you like barbecue, this is the place to go.
Because what we're doing out there at Trailer Parker's, because I'm actually from Texas, we're really smoking this thing on pits. I don't own an oven. Whatever they're doing out here in Ontario, I don't know, but they're putting stuff in ovens. We're putting it on a pit and smoking it, and you can taste it. Y'all come on down and see us at Charing Cross Road, and we'll get y'all taken care of Texas style. How about that?
Now, I can authenticate that accent. He's not making that stuff up. He's got the cowboy hat. He's got it all. This is the real deal. If you want some good Texas barbecue before you come on down to the racetrack, you go on through Charing Cross, but you got to get there early because I have seen that sold out sign on the door just about every night that I've gone by there. So if they go down there, what do they got to get?
When you come down, obviously right now everybody's wanting ribs because they've never had real ribs smoked the correct way. These ribs are smoked for 6 hours, and then they come off the pit and they're ready to rock and roll. And then after that, of course, the king of meat, which is Texas brisket. Y'all come on down and get some real smoked Texas brisket. You will not be disappointed. Come on.
Well, you heard it here first. I want to thank these guys. They were passing by, and I said, you know what? It's just good. I feel bad for the people living in Charing Cross because they got to smell those smokers running all night long. So go on down, see Tex at the Gang in Charing Cross, Ontario. You know where that is. And, yeah, get there early, get it good, and you got.
It's good to see you, Dean. Thank you for having us.
Hey, as always, thanks for coming out. And I'm going to try and bring this Texas accent back here a few times. We'll talk to him again.
Let's do it.
Well, still getting things cleaned up down there on the racetrack. Both race leaders involved, and yeah, definitely it's some interesting situations there as they come across the stripe. Well, there we see the 49 car making his way back to the pit. All flat tire on the front of the Dave Bailey car as he makes his way into the pits. Steve Shaw in the 96 car on the back of the Miller Towing wrecker. He'll make his way back on into the pits. Well, as you can see, looks like the 96 car a little worse for wear than Dave Bailey's car, but he'll get it back there, check it out. Hopefully everything's still straight and good to go. And well, seeing as it is opening night, there's always some interesting stuff going on. Guys getting it sorted out and battling hard all the way to the end. Well, just before we get through our get started with our mini mod feature, we want to congratulate Dave Bailey in the 49 car. He is tonight's Thunder Stock feature. The 49 of Dave Bailey is the feature winner here tonight for our Thunder Stock division in night number 1. As we've got our mini mods rolling on the racetrack for their feature event here tonight. Again, big thanks to Great Lakes Gymnastics Club in Chatham for sponsoring our mini mod division here tonight. Joel, one of the folks from the gym, actually been a driver in this division for a long time in the 23 car. Looking good with that logo on the side, but out front we have the N64 and the 91 car, Austin Pickering and Dylan Bonner ready to go on the front row here in our Great Lakes Gymnastics mini mod feature event for night number 1. We've definitely got some fast cars up front here. Should be interesting to see how the first few laps shakes out. See if these guys have the same problems down there in 3 and 4 as our Thunderstocks had. A little bit drier down there, so we will have to see if they can negotiate the turns a little bit cleaner. Austin Pickering, Dylan Bonner on the front row, followed by Evan Bonner in the 16. Outside of him, Nate McNally in the 8 car as they come out of 4. One more time, green flag in hand, our mini mod feature. Caution going to come out as we've got some debris down there in turn 1. That was the sail panel off of the O'Leary car laying down there in turn number 1. We'll get that picked up real quick. Dylan Bonner in the N64 successfully negotiating the first couple laps around there. Behind him, Austin Pickering and Sean McNally. I almost want to say Nate McNally. His dad used to drive back in the mini mod class, but Sean McNally, Austin Pickering behind the leaders as we get ready to go for the Delaware style restarts here. Green flag in hand, ready to go as we come back to it out of turn 4. Dylan Bonner in the N64, your current race leader. Sean McNally looking to nose down on the inside. Coming out of turn number 2, not going to make it work. Caleb O'Leary in that 28 car making a strong run, moving his way up now in that second position. We've got 3 cars trying to get up there, and it looks like a little bit of contact. We got problems on the front there of the 91 car. He's going to have to make his way into the pits. Not going to be able to negotiate too well with that broken front end, but looks like he's going to give it a try. Leader up onto the slow car of Bowden there in the 78, but gets by no problem at all. 91 with a little contact with the wall there all over the place, but still holds on now in the 4th position. Caleb O'Leary running in 2nd, followed by McNally, but caution comes out. Caution comes out. Kyle Gill in the 87 with some issues there down the backstretch. We see the window net down on that car. Probably going to be making his way to the backstretch. Also looks like the 91 of Austin Pickering there going to make his way to the pits. A lot of front end damage on that car from earlier on. Hello again, folks. Sorry about that. 16 there. The Bonner car going to make his way to the back as he did go below this cone on that restart. Dylan Bonner in the N64 still leading these guys around, having a great feature out front, holding off all the competition. Sean McNally in the 8 car behind him. Marshall Harregers, another guy, no stranger to victory lane, sits in that 3rd place, looking to get up to the front. Behind him, Wes Bertozzi in that hot-looking 46 car, sits in the 4th position. Dan Loveday in the 43. Rounding out the top 5 here in our Great Lakes Gymnastics Mini Mod feature. They will come by this time out of turn 4, single file past the cone, restart one more time. Dylan Bonner, N64, trying to get it done here in our mini mod feature. Down through turn number 2, Marshall Harregers looks to the inside of McNally. He will take that spot down the backstretch. Down into turn number 4. Dylan Bonner going to take the lap one more time in the N64. Marshall Harregers now in that 2nd, followed by Sean McNally. Caution out again. Haley Hornick in the 62 brings it around down over in turn number 3, up in turn number 3, I should say, right at the top of the racetrack. Dave Johnson in the 29J has made his way down to the infield. Looks like some technical issues on that car. Going to put him out of contention for tonight's feature. But the N64, Dylan Bonner so far leading the way around, having a great run out front in that N64, but hot on his heels now, Marshall Harregers in that 31. Marshall pretty good on them restarts as well, so we'll have to see if he can try and get a jump. Well, Haley Hornick in the 62 going to get a push off the racetrack. We will be able to then continue on here. Once again, big shout out to all the dads watching today. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there in race world not joining us here today. Glad you can be watching and enjoying Father's Day. Green flag back out, top 3 going door to door. Dylan Bonner in the N64, still leading him around, but hot on his heels. The 31 of Marshall Horregers and the 8 of Sean McNally, all looking to make their way to the front. Five laps to go. 5 laps left in our Great Lakes Gymnastics mini mod feature here tonight. Can Dylan Bonner hold on, but right on his heels. Little bobble in turn number 2 is going to open the door just a little bit. Marshall Horregers looking down to the inside as they go through 3 and 4. Bonner slides up, little bit of wheel tap. Coming across the stripe. Dylan Bonner still going to take the lead. Threading the needle down through number 2 again. Dylan Bonner on the inside. Marshall Horregers out, back down through 3 and 4. They come one more time. Van Hall in the front of the leaders as they go down the front stretch. 2 laps to go. 2 laps to decide our feature winner here. Smooth and steady one more time. Dylan Bonner in the N64. See if the Pokemon can get it done here. Marshall Horregers a bit of a push there through number 2. Going to lose a little bit of ground on Bonner as they head down the back stretch. Coming out of turn 4 this time. Checker flag in the air on our Great Lakes Gymnastics mini mod feature. Dylan Bonner in the N64 picking up the victory, followed by Marshall Horregers in the 31 and Sean McNally in the 8 car. Going to round out the top 3. Great run for Bonner in that N64. Great feature here tonight for our mini mod division. And just like that, our second feature of the night in the books. And it is the N64. Dylan Bonner. I'm going to call him the Pokemon from now on. Pokemon all over that car. Picking up the victory. Great run on opening night. Well, rolling out onto the racetrack right now, our mini stock division for their feature event here tonight. Great run earlier on tonight in the heat race. We'll see how they get it done tonight for the feature. Out on the front, Olivier Larocque in the 91 car. Outside of them, that is the 21. Sorry, 16 car. Fabio. And believe it or not, race fans, O'Leary in the pickup truck after rolling over in the heat race. He has made it back out, the 77 truck. A little dinged up and a little dirty, but he is out there at the back of the field for our mini stock feature here. Second row, we've got Brad Maynard in the 20M. Outside of him, we have the 747. That is Ryan Boylo. J2, James Kelly in the third row. Kevin Frazier in that orange 50, and it is the 77, Tate O'Leary, rounding out the field here for our mini stock feature tonight. Slow and steady down the back stretch they go, ready to come out of turn 4 to take the green flag. Aiden ready to cut him loose, the 91 and the 16 car. Olivier Larocque. Fabio on the front row, coming down out of turn number 4, green flag in hand, ready to go for our mini stock feature event. Good battle up front as they come out of turn number 4. The 91 and the 16 go door to door across the stripe. It's the 91. Olivier Larocque going to lead that lap as they head down through 1 and 2. Lots of room for these cars to run out here on this bigger track. Little contact further on back in the pack. The 747 gets in with the 50 car, but they all keep it rolling. O'Leary in that 77 truck now making his way down to the infield, so that's going to cut his race short. Good battle for second. James Kelly in the J2 and Brad Maynard in the 20M battling hard for that second position. Up front we still have the 91 and the 16 leading these guys around. Kevin Frazier in that 50 with a right front flat, trying to make his way. He'll head on down to the bottom of the track, try and limp that thing out of the way, gets it out safely, still up front. Good battle going on up front with the 91 and the 16. Back and forth they go. It is Olivier Larocque coming out on top so far down the back stretch into 3 and 4. Two different lines out of both of these drivers. Both of them seem to be working pretty good. Fabio in that 16 trying everything to get by this 91, running high, running low, but it's still the 91 out front, leading them through 3 and 4 one more time. picking up parts on both ends of the racetrack here. We've got the 20M. Brad Maynard looks like he may have had some issues coming out of turn number 4 as there's some parts laying on the track, and the car now comes to a stop up in turn number 2 as we get the tow truck down there to try and get him off the racetrack. Well, just about got that 20M car up and off of the racetrack, out of the way, so we can get this feature back to green. Out front, Olivier in the 91 still leading around here. We'll see how much time it might take for the 16 to get on by there, but not much time left here for our feature event. Little TV time there for the 20M of Brad Maynard. Taking a little ride down the backstretch on the tow truck. Again, a big thanks to Miller's Towing for helping us out here, providing tow service at the racetrack. One of those things you got to have. One more time around before we cut them loose to try and get through our mini stock feature here tonight. 4 cars left, ready to do battle. And just like that, 3 wide across the stripe on that restart there. James Kelly in the J2 looking to the bottom. Olivier now bumper to bumper with James Kelly and the 16. Fabio on the outside as they go down the backstretch into turn 3s and into turn 3 and 4. A little bit of contact there as the 16 car comes around Fabio. Loose out of turn 4, gets her sideways coming down the back stretch. .747 and Ryan Boylo just get caught up a little bit, but looks to be okay. The 16 car still stuck down on the bottom of the racetrack, or on the top of the racetrack, sorry. White flag in the air. One more lap before we go back to green. Looks like the 16 car will make it back out to try and claw his way back up through this 4-car feature field here tonight in our mini stock division. Olivier Larocque leading him around, followed by James Kelly in the J2, Ryan Boylo in the 747, and Leroy Boscombe in the 16 is Fabio Olivier. 4 cars left, ready to go here, green flag in hand as they come out of turn number 4 for our mini stock feature. James Kelly looks to the inside, runs the 91 up just a little bit. Ryan Boylo in the 747 now pulls that car out front, headed down the backstretch into turn number 3. Four-car feature, and you could throw a blanket over him here. Just like that, Olivier in the 91 back out front of this feature, trying to get it done. Checker flag in hand. Out of turn number 4, it will be the 91 car, Olivier Larocque, picking up the win, holding on, doing battle here. Great run by that 91 car, holding on, getting back up to the front there. Olivier Larocque in the 91, tonight's mini stock feature winner. Now making their way out onto the racetrack for their feature are Schinkel's Gourmet Meats Modifieds. Back out, ready to do battle. Well, 5 cars out here on our Father's Day feature event, ready to do battle one more time. Joel Dick in the 09D, Justin Mills on the outside of the front row in the 6M. Brian Spielman behind them, row number 2 in the 22S. Outside of him is Patrick Lajeunesse in the 98P, and bringing up the rear, Gerald Martin in the 5 car. One more time around as they get ready to go for our Schinkel's Gourmet Meats Modified feature event. "20 laps the distance off at turn 4. Green flag in the air. Here we go. Well, Joel Dick in the 9D currently leading these guys around. Justin Mills runs in second. Brian Spielman in third. Mills trying to make that high line work out here. Spielman down on the bottom through 1 and 2, trying to get it done. Not gaining much traction on our leader, Joel Dick in the 09 car. Once again, Joel still out front. Spielman trying to reel in Justin Mills in that 06. Justin now trying a little bit lower line on the track, getting some bite through 1 and 2, now down into 3 and 4. A little bit of moisture left down there on the bottom. Spielman trying to make that work to his advantage. Justin Mills high, wide, and handsome through 3 and 4 there. That opens the door for Spielman, jumping down to the inside as they head down through 1 and 2. Mills now back by a nose as they come out of turn number 2, still on the high side of the racetrack. Nose is down, Spielman still running that bottom. Trying to make that work. Almost a full backstretch lead now for the 09 and Joel Dick. Good battle for second place between Mills and Spielman as they head down into turn number 3. Mills slides up just a little bit. Coming across the stripe, he'll still hold on to second place. Spielman in the 3rd position, followed by Doris Lajeunesse in the 98P. Safety crews definitely working hard down there as Lajeunesse coming hard across the line there, upside down. Working on getting him out. There he is out of the car. He is out of the car, folks. Wow, definitely a good sign as that was a hard lick over there. Well, just going to take a minute here as it will have to get that car flipped back over onto its wheels and get it up onto the hook. Once again, while we got a chance, a big thanks to all our sponsors for helping us out. Lots more to come, lots more to mention this season here at Southern Ontario Motor Speedway. Glad you're tuned in with us for this Father's Day event. Also really glad to see Doris out of the car there. Patrick Lajeunesse, sorry, Patrick. Doris in the late model, Patrick in the modified. Well, glad to hear from track side that Patrick Lajeunesse is okay. Got checked out, a little bumps and bruises. Definitely not the way he wanted his season to start here. They'll definitely have a little bit of work to do on that car, see if things are still good, if it's still straight, still going to race. Hopefully things aren't too bad. I know they can always look bad, a lot of bent sheet metal, but you never know. They'll have to get it back to the shop, take it apart, see what they got. And the whole family here this weekend with Lajeunesse, his stepfather, actually, Gerald Martin, in the 5 car, watching now from the back stretch. Everybody is okay, though. Safety crew's doing good, just getting this car up and loaded, ready to get it off the racetrack so that we can get back underway here for our modified feature. It was Joel Dick in the 09D leading these guys around. Justin Mills, Brian Spielman. At the time, Lajeunesse running in that 4th position. Not sure exactly what happened. I didn't see it myself, but there's definitely a couple marks in the track. He may have just caught a rut, got sideways, and over he went. So definitely not a good start to the season for the 98P, but I know those guys are resilient. You can pretty much bet we will see that car back out again this season. As we mentioned early on in the night, our safety crews, they don't do a lot all the time, but when they're needed, they were good. Quick on the scene, everybody doing the best they can to get this cleaned up quickly. Again, Miller Towing doing a great job down there, getting that car loaded up. Looking at roughly 8 laps left to go here in our modified feature. Safety trucks making their way off the track. We will get the lights back to yellow, ready to go back live on the Speedway. These guys will get them fired back up, ready to go. And you take a look there. Like we say, the sheet metal can be replaced. Hopefully the chassis and things underneath aren't too bad there. And always glad to see the driver walk away after a tumble like that. So we'll keep an eye out next weekend for the 98P. Patrick Lajeunesse. Pylon back out on the racetrack. Single file restart. We've got 4 cars left here. Joel Dick, the Hollywood Joel Dick, they call him, in the 09D, leading him around. Justin Mills in the 6M car behind him. 3rd place running Brian Spielman in the 22S. Brian, one of those drivers this season doing double duty. I didn't see the late model out here tonight, but I'm sure we'll see that 22 late model out a few times this season. Looking to have a good go in the modified as he has in the past. All 3 of these drivers up in the top 3 right now have spent some time in victory lane, so Joel Dick on the restart. See if he can get it done. A few more laps to go for our Shinkles Gourmet Meats modified feature here tonight. Last time down the backstretch before the green flag flies. Joel Dick, Justin Mills, Brian Spielman, Gerald Martin. 4 drivers left to do battle in our modified feature event. Green flag in hand, out of 4. One more time, here we go. Joel Dick with a good start. Running consistently through the middle of the track there in the 09D. The guys behind him trying a couple different lines. Justin Mills this time Down to the bottom, gets a little sideways, loses all momentum. That's going to open the door. Spielman jumps to second. Gerald Martin up into third. Justin Mills now sits in that fourth position after a bobble through turn 2. Joel Dick extending that lead one more time out front. Justin Mills slinging some dirt around there, running the top, trying to gain some traction to get back up through traffic here. Joel Dick extending that lead. Probably a good 10 car lengths now ahead of the second place car of Brian Spielman. Mills now down to the inside, trying to take that third position away from Gerald Martin. He'll grab that spot, but got a lot of work to do if he wants to get anywhere near the front before this thing is done. 2 laps left to go here for race leader Joel Dick. Spielman runs in second, Justin Mills in third. White flag this time by Hollywood. Joel Dick leading them around. Back one more time through 1 and 2. Nice and easy back on the gas. 3 and 4, one more time. Checker flag in the air. Joel Dick is tonight's feature winner in the Shinkles Gourmet Modifieds. Will pick up the first win of the season in that 09 car. Brian Spielman second, Justin Mills in third, and rounding out the top 4, it is Gerald Martin in the 5 car. Joel last night looking at the track as the rains were coming down, and happy that we got to come to tonight, picking up that feature win. One more feature left to go here tonight, race fans. Rolling out onto the racetrack, it is our late model class. Track conditions not too shabby for these guys, so we'll see how they get it, see which lines they decide they're going to run through this feature here tonight. As they make their way down the backstretch on the front row, we've got the 4 car. That is C.J. Field. Outside of him is the 66 of Tyler Lozon. The Smooth Criminal, John Pinsno, sits in row number 2. Outside of him, it is the RH21 of Greg Haskell. Doris Lajeunesse in the 38. 38D. Outside of him, we have the 38 of Ryan Goody. Behind them, it is the 00 car. Sorry, lost the name on that gentleman. Outside of him is the 48 car. That is Rob Young. Don Douglas in the 19. Kevin Goody in that red 13. Kyle Gill in the 87. Van Hall in the 06 car. Bonner in the 29, and at the back of the field it is the rookie Brett Hope in the 49 car. Brett looking to have a good run this season in the late model division. One of those guys, if you got a minute, follow him on his YouTube channel as well. Got some videos of things going on there with Hope Motorsports. Always fun when you can watch some of these drivers, what they've got going on, follow them along on their socials and see how things are going. But down the backstretch they will go one more time as they get ready to unleash tonight for the late model feature. CJ Field, Tyler Lozon on the front row, going to bring them through 3 and 4. Green flag in the air, here we go. Caution out, not too happy with that restart there. CJ getting a little quick on the trigger in the 4 car on the inside. Tyler Lozon will get his spot. We'll get everybody realigned here for the feature. We got some debris on the backstretch there. Greg Haskell letting them know what's back there. Get that cleaned up before we can get back to green. Waiting for the field to come by. He'll jump back in line once he gets a chance so we can get this thing back to green one more time. Everybody lined up where the feature had started. One more time, we will get them side by side down the back stretch, get them ready to go for our late model feature here. Track looks good, things look good, ready to go one more time here. Tyler Lozon, CJ Field on the front row, get them side by side. They will come out of turn 3 and 4. Green flag in hand one more time for our late model feature event. Well, before we can take the green, we've got some cars around here in turn number 3. Not exactly sure what happened there on that restart. Kyle Gilbonner and the 19 of Don Douglas all coming around. Those 3 cars start near the back of the field, so not sure exactly how that managed to happen. Well, final feature of the night, a little trick getting them going here, but I think we're going to give it another go one more time. CJ Field, Tyler Lozon bringing the pack through 3 and 4 one more time. Green flag in the air. Caution out, caution out. We've got a car around. That's Cowgill in the 87 car who comes around in turn number 3. Well, green flag in hand. Here we go one more time for our late model feature. Well, caution out again. The 87 of Kyle Gill brings it around on the back stretch. Well, hope everybody's enjoying their Father's Day events here. Well, caution out again. Rob Young comes around on the front stretch in the 48 car. We've got some debris from the cone all over the racetrack. Quite an event we're having here for our late model feature tonight, race fans. Little bobble for our leader, CJ Field. That's going to open the door for the RH21, but gains some momentum through 1 and 2. Back out front in the 4 car. Greg Haskell in the RH21 out to the point now as CJ Field dives down through 3 and 4 to try and gain some ground on him. Comes up beside him, not going to make it stick. Greg running the bottom, CJ right on his heels. John Pinsonneau running in that 3rd position. Doris Lajeunesse in the 4th. Kevin Goody in the 13 rounding out the top 5. Well, we've got a little bit of goodies around the track. Those are just the pool noodles that came out of the corners. It shouldn't cause much damage, so keeping things rolling here with our green flag. Out front it is Greg Haskell in the RH21 leading these things around. Almost a half track back, or sorry, a full stretch back to the 4 car of CJ Field. White flag is in the air one more time around for our late model feature tonight. Greg Haskell comes out of heads into turn number 3 as CJ Field makes his way out of turn number 2. Looks like the RH21 is going to pick up tonight's feature win. CJ Field going to finish in the 2nd position, and John Pinsino, the smooth criminal in the 0 car, will finish in that 3rd position. Well, that is going to do it for our race program tonight. I want to thank you all very much for hanging out with us. We got lots more great racing action all season long. Make sure you tune in every Saturday night on the Southern Ontario Motor Speedway YouTube channel. Check out the social media, of course, Facebook and Instagram. Make sure you follow along on there for all the up-to-dates. As we mentioned, next week, next Saturday night, it is the Pinty's Nights of Thunder event here at the racetrack. Sprint cars and more sprint cars. If you are a fan, make sure you tune in next Saturday night. It's broadcast on our YouTube channel here, Southern Ontario Motor Speedway. Also available on GeForce TV. Check it out either way. Make sure you do. Once again, race fans, thank you for tuning in to the broadcast tonight. A big thanks to Rock Dog Pictures, doing a great job. They're the ones bringing it to you. I want to thank them. All of our staff, all of our fans. It was a great first night. Lots of bugs. We're going to get them worked out. And we will see you again. Well, I guess we won't see you because you're not here. But you'll see us because we're going to be on YouTube. So check it out next Saturday night, 7 o'clock.